everyone, I'm Carmen Pickus, and I am here today to tell you what you need for your new puppy. This summer I went swimming. First, we're going to look at long lines. So with that, we're going to always love a good long line. I want at least 25 feet. You can get these on Amazon, Walmart, Target, anywhere that sells dog supplies. You can find a long line. They are very nice for training recall. This is something that's very important in your dog's first beginning of training is a long line. I trained my dog Tucker on a long line where I would have him go as far as the long line would go. I would call him back, and that's how he got such solid recall. I feel like a lot of trainers would recommend that, but that is one of your number ones when getting your first pup. Number 2 is a kennel. We are going to always kennel train our puppies. Even if you're not going to have your dog sleep in a kennel, we are going to need some place to put puppy when you leave. Tucker goes in his kennel when we're leaving or when I cannot physically watch him because he still is a puppy and makes mistakes. We have to look at, you wouldn't leave a baby unattended for, you know, hours on end, 6 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours. And when we first get our puppy, they can only hold their bladder for a shorter period of time. I think the longest a 9-week-old puppy can hold their bladder is for 2 hours. So we're going to make sure that we're only leaving our puppy for an hour when first beginning to train unattended. I wouldn't even leave my puppy unattended for an hour. I would say 2 minutes is the max I would leave a puppy unattended. They're going to make mistakes, I can promise you that. That's why a kennel is so important, for that extra, you know, guarantee that they're not going to use the bathroom in the house or this. I'm going to recommend a Benabone, MyBone. You know, we're going to not really get the fluffy toys quite yet to the stuffing toys quite yet. You know, those are good for, they only need 2 of those. They don't need all of their toys to be those. They need 2 toys. So here are some good chew toys. I will be linking these down below as well. Everything that I show in this video will be linked down below. Yeah, so I would definitely get some good chew toys, you know, to work on in the kennel, to work on, you know, place training. You know, when it's unattended, we are going to make sure that they have a chew toy or something to work on. We are going to purchase a good dog food. So whether your dog is small breed, large breed, or medium breed, we are going to look for what flavor you want to feed, what, you know, works best for your puppy. When you're getting a puppy from a breeder or a rescue, they should give you what they're feeding in a small amount, and then you should be able to switch on, or you should buy whatever they're feeding, a small bag, a 10-pound bag of dog food, and then we're going to slowly introduce them to that food as well. Now we're going to pick out what food you want to feed, which could be, you know, anything you pick. I'm not going to judge anyone who feeds whatever works for your puppy, whatever works for your budget, whatnot. So we're gonna look into food. My first tip for looking into food is to look for the first ingredient to always be meat. Whether it's a crappy brand or not, we're going to look at that being the first bed. Now this might seem ridiculous, whatnot. If your puppy's gonna sleep with you, or if they have the kennel, you know, that's their bed. I would recommend a puppy bed for, you know, teaching place and whatnot. So I have my puppy beds linked down below if you want to check them out. They're very good beds. I had them for a long time, and I'm currently getting new ones. So would recommend them for teaching place and working on, you know, downs and whatnot. Number 6 is nail clippers. Now we're going to learn how to clip our nails in the next couple of videos. I will teach you how to cut nails and how to introduce your puppy to cutting their nails, so it's not a fight when they're older, or even your older dog. You know, sometimes when you get an older dog, it's hard to teach them getting their nails clipped. So we're definitely going to need a nails clipper, you know, and whatnot. But you also need to decide if you're going to have your nails clipped at home, which I would prefer. You know, you learned how to do that. That's a very important skill to learn. Got harnesses and leashes. Now, I personally like to have my puppies on harnesses when I'm first working with them. One thing I did wrong with my dog Tucker was I trained him on a collar, and you know, that was one of my mistakes. I wish I would have got him, you know, harness trained right when I got him. It was a very beneficial thing once I got him harness trained, you know, working through that. So I would recommend buying a harness and a leash when you're first getting your puppy. I would also make sure that you have a couple different sizes, because they're going to grow up and they're going to, you know, need a bigger size, and it's easier to buy a new collar now than later. And then a harness we're going to look at, you know, when our new puppy is going to pull, because it is going to happen when you're first training with a puppy, is they're going to pull, or, you know, long line training. It would come in handy to have a harness and a collar with a name tag on it and your personal information, because puppy is going to make mistakes, and, you know, one day maybe dart out the door or something. It'd be nice to have the collar and name tag on it. So, is a clicker. Now, when training, we are going to clicker train our puppy. This is pretty optional, I think. Personally, I did not clicker train my dogs, but I know a lot of people, you know, love clicker training, and it does come in handy when, you know, you don't want to be just feeding your dog treats. Here are some good clickers. I will be putting everything that I recommend right here and in the link below. I clicker train. I didn't really clicker train my dogs, like I said, but I did work with Tucker on the clicker and Ghost on the clicker for a little bit. Just click, treat, click, treat. You know, it's a good boy trick, basically. Number 9, we are going to look into a good shampoo. Here are some of my favorite shampoos, but obviously it comes into whatever your budget is and whatnot, and whatever feeds into it. I would recommend getting a shampoo first, or a couple days before you get your new puppy, is to get a bottle of shampoo and make sure you have that on hand, because puppies are going to get dirty. It's just a guarantee. They're puppies, that's what they do. So definitely recommend that. And I would start bathing my puppy as beginning as possible. So as soon as I bring my puppy home, I would bring them, you know, 2 days into owning them, I would start bathing them and getting them used to being groomed, so it's not a fight and whatnot when they're older. And I would just do that by feeding treats. Your breeder or your rescue, if you're getting a puppy, is to definitely should have a blanket that mama slept with, and, you know, got that scent. But also, I would do that with you if you're going to kennel train your puppy, is I would sleep with a blanket for a couple days. This is what I did with Tucker, as I slept with a blanket for 3 days, and then I got him used to being my scent. So I would definitely do that. I would go to Walmart, Target, whatnot, and buy a blanket, or use one of your blankets you have out as well. You know, so those are my must-haves for getting a new puppy. I hope that helps, and congratulations on the new puppy. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video.